New year, new me, or new year, new growth? Today on the podcast, we are going to get into how when you focus your sights on growth, you are actually going to see more results, which will keep you coming back for more and grow your momentum to reach your goals. Conversely, when you focus on your goals and you're not reaching them, you start to focus on failure instead. So let's avoid failure and celebrate growth. If you are new here, welcome to the What If It Works podcast. I am your host, Ann Vogt. I am a culture coach and motivational speaker, helping leaders create cultures where their people can thrive. Let's get into it. Is this episode for you currently where you are at, or is this episode for Ann Vogt back in 2018? Hopefully both. This episode is for the person who continues to see failure when they think about their big goals, and we are going to erase that mindset and truly focus on growth. Welcome to episode 25. I am excited for this topic, and I'm not going to lie to you. I recorded an entire podcast before this and could not hit publish. It just did not hit your needs or the needs of someone who is listening at the beginning of 24 and just wants to stay so focused on achieving and hitting those goals that they've set for themselves. But also, this episode is for the leader who is truly trying to grow and shift and change their culture and just not seeing momentum. Guess what? When we focus on attaining the final result, we go nowhere. And so in this episode, I am going to help you focus on the growth. What is the best way to start? It really is to truly think about, what are you focused on? I don't know if you know this, but you have a piece of your brain called your reticular activating system. And this part of your brain is literally there to seek the information that you want. And so if you are starting the new year and you're already noticing that you're not drinking the amount of water you said you were going to drink, and you ate French fries today and you told yourself you weren't going to eat any fried foods, your brain is literally going to be looking for all the ways that you are already failing to meet your goals. Unless you tell your brain to look for the growth. So I'm going to start this episode off talking about you, but we're also going to get to talking about your team and focusing on their growth and how that can actually create momentum as well. But let's start with you. I don't know. Are you in a place that you are focused on growth, or are you focused on the achievement? Now, this episode, as I said, is for 2018, and in 2018 and 2019, I was dabbling a little bit in coaching, where I was getting coached, and personal development, and every day felt like a failure. Every day I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. when my alarm went off, and every day I wasn't drinking the right amount of water, and every day I wasn't reading 10 pages of a personal development book, and every day I just kept clicking off of how much of a failure I was. And I wasn't focused on the things I was doing. I was solely focused on how I'm never going to lose weight because you're not consistently working out, or I'm never going to get out of this slump because you can't even be consistent in this one little thing, right? And I truly was looking for all the ways that I wasn't going to achieve my goals. Now, I don't even know if there was a moment or an event that started to shift my mindset, or if it really was like this slow burn that I had to go through. But I did coaching again in 2021. And through that experience, I truly started to focus on growth. Actually, you know what? Maybe there was a moment, now that I'm saying this out loud. I had a coach who started our sessions every time with, hey, let's go through some of your wins. And I instantly would tell her all of my losses. And she would be like, okay, Anne, but I saw you post on social media that you got your water intake in on Wednesday. And I was like, yep, one day I met my goal. That was it. And she'd be like, okay, but that's a win. And it was really interesting for weeks and weeks and weeks. We kept having this kind of frustration kick off our meeting because I wasn't in the right mindset to share wins. I was just so focused on the losses. And one day she said to me, shout out to Abigail Bryn, on Instagram at Coach Abigail Bryn. She says, you know what? You're going to start, or I'm going to start. This is how she did it. She's like, I'm going to write down everything I see on social media and everything you share with me on Marco Polo. That's positive. And next meeting, I'm going to tell you your wins. That was life-changing for our coaching because throughout the week, I was sharing with her wins that were happening. If I got something done that I said I was going to get done and I followed through, if I ate the way that I wanted to eat for the day and I didn't cheat at all, or like I said, I drank my water, or I exercised, or I went for a walk, or whatever it was, right? I would tell her about it during the week. And then as it approached our coaching day, it was like instantly my mindset started to shift. And we would get on this call and she would be like, hey, let me tell you all the wins you had this week. And sometimes they were wins I wasn't even working on. And she would say, like, you know what I saw this week? I saw this, and I saw this, and I saw this. And it really set up our coaching session to be so much more positive. And I even felt like we got through more material, had more breakthroughs, and just created momentum, because right away we were talking about growth, not fully achieving my goals, right? Because there's no way you're going to fully achieve your goal in a week. There's no way you're going to fully achieve your goal in a month. Well, depending on your goal, right? And so really staying focused on your growth, that's going to keep you moving. And actually, it might even help you move a little bit faster, because when you start tracking your growth and you start witnessing what you are doing and that you are taking action, you grow in confidence. When you grow in confidence, you know inherently that you can do this and you will do this. And therefore, you're going to start taking actions that match the person that's going to achieve that goal. Now, the exact same goes for your team. When you start noticing their growth, and even just when you start focusing on the growth of the team, telling them, hey, I noticed this win we had. Hey, I noticed this collaboration that all of you did and how that really helped the project move forward faster, right? You are sharing with them appreciation for the actions they're taking, which is going to have you seeing those actions more often, not only because you're going to be looking for them, but they are also going to be doing them more because they know that's what helps them reach their goal or reach their potential. And by you pointing out their wins, that's going to create momentum for them to start putting their RAS, or their reticular activating system, right? That brain that seeks that information. They're going to start looking for more wins that they are having at work as well, or even in life. And so I really want you thinking about, as a leader, yes, you are meant to lead people. But honestly, as a leader, it should be our mission to inspire and empower, and to help others see their true potential and work towards meeting that and becoming the best versions of themselves. Now, how do they get inspired to do that? By watching someone else who is doing it for themselves. Who is that person I speak of today? It's you. Honestly, I heard a woman tonight say, I am so proud of my husband, and I don't know what switched in him. Actually, I know she's a listener, and so I think you know who I'm talking about, if you are the person. And so she said, I am so proud, and I'm not sure what switched. And I think the moment she said it, in my head, I was like, because you are leading. You are leading him. You are leading your family. You are modeling. You are communicating. You are walking in a way that says, this is where I'm going, and you should really join me. And it was beautiful. And I just love how she spoke about him and some of the actions he is taking. And she was just like so proud. And I want you to know, as leaders, if you want to know where to start, I'm honestly going to tell you every single time, like, start with you. Start with you focusing on your growth. What are some things you want to get better at? Focus on that growth in that area. Take those small steps, get those small wins, right? Maybe you want to engage with your staff more. Okay, set a timer to go off every 3 hours where you're going to get up away from your desk and you're going to go engage for 10 minutes. Maybe you want to collaborate with your staff more and you want them being honest with you. You have to open up that conversation. They're not just going to come walking in and being like, hey, do you want my honest opinion? They're going to wait for you to open that door. And so get out there and open that door. Start asking for feedback on small things if you're not getting it on the big things. Start thanking them for giving you feedback. Start thanking them for collaborating with you. Start pointing out that collaboration and how that helped your process and gave you momentum. That is where other people are going to feel empowered and inspired. But it truly, truly, truly starts with you, and just watch the people around you. One of two things is going to happen. Number one, they're going to be inspired by your changes, and they're going to slowly start to see themselves in a different way and start to make those changes. Sadly, number two is they are going to feel like they are watching someone grow, and they are going to be of the belief and of the mindset that they cannot do that. And they will actually get really, really stuck. Sometimes you have people who almost get offended by your growth because they not only aren't growing in their heads, right? This is a choice. They are not growing in themselves or in the way they want to grow, and they feel hurt by your growth, and they feel like it's impossible for them to change their circumstance. Now, here's the good news for you. You're not going to change much about what you're doing. I don't want you thinking that the moment you see other people in the office getting offended by your growth, you're going to stop. Absolutely not. You are going to do what you have in your control to do, which is continue growing, continue to work with them and point out what they have, their strengths, what they do well, and just invite them to grow with you. Not like literally ask them to grow with you, but by doing it in a way that invites them in. They may never come around, and that's not on you to worry about, right? You are there to lead and to inspire through your own actions. I recently met with a group who was telling me that their workforce is kind of underperforming. And they said, we just don't know what's going on. And I was like, okay, well, tell me about you guys. And they were like, oh, no, we don't really do that work. And I was like, okay, well, what do they see you doing? And it was a great conversation about modeling positive work ethic and modeling meeting deadlines and modeling having clear expectations and clear communication. And so just a reminder, as you are out there leading and growing, you're not only helping yourself get to the best version of you, but you're also impacting others around you. And truly, just what if it works? What if you start focusing on you and you start paying attention to your growth? You set your RAS to look at ways you're growing and ways you're improving in your leadership and your communication. Just imagine how that could shift the workplace culture, or shift your team, or even shift your household. So many of you listening right now are parents. And so often people talk about their families being stuck, or we always do the same thing over and over and over, or every night we sit around and watch TV and I just wish we would do more things as a family. You are the leader of your home. Truly step into that role. Make some different decisions for you. Have some wins for you. Inspire others around you to shift what they are doing, but also don't get stuck believing that they're not following suit and it's never going to happen. Growth happens at very different rates for very different people. And so you can't expect that one night, instead of turning on the TV, you're going to read a book, and the next night, everyone in the family is going to say, let's have a reading night, right? Like, that's just not going to happen. It might take months of that, or years of that, or maybe you won't even know it happens, except 10 years from now, your daughter calls you to tell you she just read the best book and that she started doing No Tech Tuesdays like you did when she was little. And now she does it at home and she's able to read so many more books and feel a little more relaxed and have a new group to chat with online because of what she's reading. You don't know the impact you have currently. All you can do is keep in control of your thoughts, your words, and your actions, and truly lead by modeling what you hope for others. And they'll either get on board or they won't. But that's not within your control. In the last episode, we talked about what are some things that you could put on your to-do list for the year. We talked about a bucket list and your 300 things list, and just ways to inspire you to truly get after life, right? And get living on purpose. And I want you to think about that list. And what are the things you can start doing now? What are some small things you could start doing now to work your way up to some of those big things? And again, don't focus on the end result. Focus on the journey to get there. I think there's some statistic out there that talks about, or some evidence that talks about Olympians, that when they receive that gold medal, there's a high and then there's kind of a crash, because the fulfillment and the purpose they felt out of training kind of comes to an abrupt halt by quote unquote achieving that goal. And so I want you to think about that. The moment that you achieve the goal is not going to be better than the little moments that you notice at work or at home. It's that little growth that's going to get you going and keep you going and build that momentum and really truly help you create that culture that you want. And then you're going to have that moment where someone in your life says something to you that shows you that you have helped create this culture that they are now thriving in, and you are going to have that moment where you just smile and enjoy it. But truly enjoy the journey and the process that it takes to get there, because man, you're going to miss out on a lot of moments if you're just waiting and waiting and waiting for that end result. So I want you to go out there and enjoy each and every day, each and every new challenge that gets in the way of your growth, because you're going to overcome that. I'll tell you right now that if you set your mind on growth, the moment you hit that challenge, it's not going to be fun. But when you get over it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, because your reticular activating system is going to be so set on you overcoming that and continuing to grow that you're going to find a way around it. And you're going to find a way to push through, and you are going to find that momentum again, and you're going to keep growing. And I want you to think about how that's going to feel. What's it going to feel like when you notice around the office, people are taking actions that you have set them up for? What's it going to feel like when they come to you and they tell you, that was a really great meeting. I really appreciate the honesty. I really appreciate your communication. Maybe they might say something to you like, you've been an incredible mentor to me. I don't want you focused on those end results because we don't know what those end results are going to look like, but we can focus on what they're going to feel like. And so really stay focused on that and just watch how your mindset starts to shift in other areas of your life. Focus on the growth of your goals and your mini wins and watch how it trickles into so many other areas of your life. I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll start drinking the right amount of ounces in water because you start walking every morning, because you want to feel more energized at work, right? And you take these small little actions that get you going and keep you going and have you enjoying yourself and the team and your growth. I promise you, there is no feeling like it when you know you're getting where you're going and you feel that momentum. It's exciting, and I want you to feel that. I love that these episodes are focused on actions, and I want to keep focusing on actions during the 2024 podcast material that I put out there. On that note, I would absolutely love your help in sharing with me some challenges that you run into at work that kind of hinder you from either growing or they hinder you from creating that culture that you know the other people around you need and that you need. If you could send those my way and please share them with me, paint me a picture, give me some examples of what's happening. I would love to help you get over those hurdles through some specific actions. Go ahead and send those over to me on email. It's impact@annvote.com, or you can find me on social media. Instagram, it's @annvote, that's ANNVOTE, or on Facebook, it is the Impact to Influence Facebook page. Let me know. Help me see what you have in front of you so that we can find a way over it, through it, and really start to build that momentum again. And thank you for the momentum I am feeling in this podcast. If you have not left a review yet, that is a way for other people to not only find the podcast, but then see if it's a good fit for them. If you could go to the platform that you are listening to this on and drop a review, I would greatly appreciate it, and so will future listeners. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking action. Thank you for focusing on what you can control, and go out there and create change. Speaking of growth, the growth that was achieved by the fall Lead with Impact cohort members was impactful, and I am excited to share with you that the Lead with Impact cohort is back, coming up this February. You can go to the link in the episode description and go ahead and click on the Lead with Impact cohort page. You are going to be able to learn more about the upcoming cohort and get added to the wait list if you are interested in jumping in. If you need more information, there will be more coming each podcast episode leading up to the cohort beginning in February. Otherwise, you can always shoot me an email over at impact@annvote.com with any questions that you have. This next cohort, we are going to help you get extremely clear on the culture you want to create at work or in your home, and then give you the strategies to help you be confident in taking action. We're going to help you sharpen your leadership skills and your communication skills so that you can start to shift that workplace culture to be a place where you and others thrive. I am so excited to see who is in for the February cohort. There will be another one in 2024, but it will probably not be until summer. So if you are thinking what a great way to start the new year is learning and growing and sharpening those skills, this is the cohort you're going to want to get into. Send any questions my way, or if it makes more sense for you and I to jump on a call to see if this is a good fit for you, I would absolutely love to do that. Send me an email. Let's get connected and let's make sure that this is the space for you at this time. Can't wait to see you there.